Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we head into the first week of January 2024, support for CSGO was supposedly ending. And that's the key word right there, is support. The game itself and its playability will not change, just future content will halt. When CS2 fully released back in September of 2023 and CSGO servers were shut down, the player base's anticipation was at an all-time high. After what felt like a decade-long waiting room, we finally got Counter-Strike 2. But during its release, Valve pulled the plug on CSGO, leaving those who couldn't play CS2 and those who didn't want to in the dark. That begs the question, was the legacy version of CSGO made out of backlash from the fans and us wanting an outlet to still access the game, or did Valve always have this in mind? I guess we'll really never know here. Today's video, we're gonna play some Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I'm gonna take a deep dive into what Valve means by ending support for the legacy version of Global Offensive, alongside a bunch more. Today's video sponsor is Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is a buying and trading marketplace for Counter-Strike 2. Trade the skins you no longer want for something new, and in the case that your balance isn't enough for the item that you want, you can top it up by using code MANDO for a free $5 every $100 you spend, alongside a 35% deposit bonus if you top up with cash. They currently have a free Christmas gift for everyone watching, that being either a free skin, an additional deposit bonus up to 50%, or even a free balance on the site. The first gift is free and you can earn many more by trading through the site. In addition, they have prepared an advent calendar for everyone watching. You can earn XP, an extra deposit bonus, and even tickets to enter the giveaway for the 13 skins shown on screen. If interested, the link will be in the top of the description down below. Now, firstly, for today's video, I want to get the obvious out of the way since I know we're going to have a lot of questions on how you can access CSGO. All you have to do is go to CS2, right click, go to betas, go to the bottom, and you'll find the legacy version of CSGO. This is the latest version of CSGO before it pretty much got deleted and you couldn't play official servers on there anymore, where you could actually get a rank. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about Valve's support for this legacy version of CSGO. I see some videos and some things on Twitter just bait all around the board of how CSGO is going to get deleted, the final moments of CSGO, and just a lot of people I think are coming from confusion. I was too at one point. I think a lot of the confusion comes from how Valve says they're going to stop support for this in January of 2024. If you go to Steam support, it says CSGO legacy version, talks about how Counter-Strike 2 is the largest technical leap in CS history, blah blah blah. If you're unable to launch Counter-Strike 2 with your current hardware, you can access the legacy version of CSGO. Support for this version of CSGO will end on January 1st, 2024. Here we go, here's the golden question for everybody. What will happen after the end of support for the legacy version of CSGO? After January 1st, 2024, the game will still be available, but certain functionality that relies on compatibility with the game coordinator, example access to inventory, may degrade or fail. This was just a few months ago, or maybe a couple years, because it hasn't really happened in a while, where your inventory would fail to load, you couldn't get any of your skins, that being in your inventory or just the game itself. Well, yeah, it's gonna have a big problem on CSGO because it's not really gonna be a main priority on Valve's list anymore for things to fix. So I'm assuming in just a few years, especially if CS2 grows in player count, your skins are not gonna be showing up too much inside CSGO, and newer skins I don't believe will be added to CSGO either. Now, the last two questions before we hop into the gameplay is a lot from the fans and people that comment on some of my videos, and their question is, why isn't there 100% support for the servers on the legacy version of CSGO? Well, it's a quick answer, but not something everyone wants to hear. The fact of the matter is if CSGO was out right now with 100% support, I don't think it would be as popular as CS2, but by a long shot, all the professional players and players alike would not like or play the new game. This would once again split the fan base, viewers, players, and everyone in the community. And we already had this great divide from 1.6 to source. And according to interviews, articles that Valve have had with us, and also just different people about CS2 this past few months, Valve have stated that they learned from that great divide. Though this was a hard decision, it was one that had to be made. Okay, enough talk. Let's now play. So you're probably going to see some gameplay in the background of either Cobblestone, Militia, Train, Cash, or possibly Agency. I'm not really 100% sure yet. But after having recorded and played just a few death matches on my own in the background, it was a pretty weird experience, I gotta say. After playing CS2 for now, 3 months since it came out, then going back to CSGO, there's quite a few things that feel very different and some just feel off in general. The biggest differences from CS2 to CSGO after playing 3 months straight of no CSGO is number one, I would say, is the bad visuals. Skins don't look as good. And the one texture and the one thing, not on every single map, but on some, that is the most different and looks awful in CSGO compared to how it looks in CS2 with just great visuals, is the water. It looks absolutely horrendous. It's hard to look at in some areas versus CS2 where it just looks amazing. And with the bad visuals on CSGO, the FPS didn't really make too much of a difference. Now, I do have a mid to higher end PC, but yeah, the FPS didn't really have too much of an impact here, even playing in all high settings on CSGO versus CS2 having the exact same thing. The game looks a lot better for not much of a decrease in performance. That's pretty good. We've actually come a long way since this game first came out. Now, number two is the bad menus and settings compared to CS2. Well, it feels like there's dozens inside Counter-Strike 2. This is mainly to do with the video tab. When you go to video settings in advanced video, it is miles better than Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Whenever you change your smallest setting in the video settings in CSGO to full screen window to full screen in general, signal, it breaks your game. It almost crashes at times versus CS2. It does it all at once. It doesn't tap out. It doesn't break at all. And that's something I really appreciate, as well as you can actually see the changes with your in-game character off to the left there. Now, number 4 is the dozens of maps, modes, and features from CSGO that are not currently present here in CS2 today. This was probably the first thing that I noticed when booting up the game, just the amount of pages of maps, modes, and just different things to play. Miss the OG maps like Agency, Cobble, Tuscan even, just something a little different. Agency is personally one of my favorite maps and kind of underrated ones of CSGO that never really gets brought up today unless it has something to do with someone cheating or they queued it on accident. But all I'm saying is if you put this map on the next major on the main stage, this will not disappoint or waste your time as a fan or viewer watching the major. Now, with us going back to CSGO, that begs the question, do I miss it? No, not really, but it will be a big piece of history of my life and something I'll always remember. Now, looking back in retrospective, I believe when talking about CSGO, most of us missed the time period of our life rather than the game back when it was in its heyday and Counter-Strike 2 wasn't out yet. And the fact that CSGO, a decade-old game, had dozens more features than a game that came out this year. Now, that's just my thoughts, but that's how a lot of things are in life. When you have less responsibility, usually you have more fun with whatever you're doing at that point. Anyway, that pretty much concludes today's video. It was a lot of fun going back to CSGO, but will I really be playing it all too much aside from just a couple videos here and there? Probably not. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.